Today we've got lots of questions about the forced cabbage video and several others. Thanks for joining us today on Questions and Answers with James Townsend and Son. I really want to thank you guys for your great questions and your wonderful comments. The first question comes from In the Kitchen 48. And she's saying it would make a great dish, the cabbage farce, or the farced cabbage. A great dish for a casual dinner party, but she's thinking about changing the seasoning. So changing the seasonings for sort of today's palate is definitely something I would do. So she suggests garlic, an onion, and maybe a pinch of cayenne pepper. I think that would make a great sort of modern take on the spices for that. Matthew Lewis asks, the basic ingredients for the cabbage, the farced cabbage, the basic ingredients look like they would make a delicious meat pie. Are there any meat pie recipes that would use similar ingredients? Yeah, it's a lot like a meat pie recipe. If you want to go back and find, back in June 2013, we did a 18th century beef pasty part 2 episode. And in that we made a fried pasty or fried little hand meat pie. And it was similar, a bit more complicated. But this one would make a great recipe also. Very, very similar, sort of like a faux farbride or, very similar. I'll go ahead and put the link down in the text, the text description of this video so you can find that one. Jonathan Naylor is asking back on the baked beans episode we did. I think that was probably first season, something like that. He says, do you sell this pot anymore, the cooking pot that we cooked those in? And because he can't find that. The pot that we used in that episode was a prototype. So it had two small handles on either side, and we changed the design of that pot right after we did that video to a single handle because it was much easier to get it in and out of the oven with a single handle. With that two handle, you had to reach both hands into the oven, and that made it almost impossible to get out, especially in an earthen oven that had a very narrow doorway. So we changed the design on that. There were both kinds in the time period. So no, we don't have the two-handled style anymore. BMX Bill is asking a question on the felt hat video. I was thinking about getting a wool felt hat, but you say they don't come with a liner. Is it possible to wear one without a liner? Well, they do come with a liner now. That video is very old. We do currently offer a hat blank that has a liner in it, so that you can just wear it like that, but it does have a liner. And yes, you can wear a hat without a liner, but you need to have a hat band on the outside of your hat so the hat doesn't grow too large. Without any kind of inner liner or outer band, the hat gets very floppy rapidly in warm weather. I've got a couple quick questions here from Boa Crow and Blue Hill, both about the straw bale house videos. And Boa Crow wanted to know about special treatments to the hay and straw. And no, there is no special treatment. He's asking about flammability, about rot, mold, and pest intrusion. And basically just sealing the bales with the stucco on all sides and making sure there aren't any gaps will take care of all those kinds of issues. As long as it's completely sealed inside of this cement stucco, nothing's going to happen to it. It can't catch fire. It doesn't rot as long as it stays dry. So that kind of fixes that. And Blue Hill is asking about insurance. He says, did you have trouble getting fire insurance? I didn't even try. We just, we don't have fire insurance for our house because we knew that was going to be nearly impossible to get. So the last question here is about preparing salt pork. That's from maybe our first or second season. Bowmaster619 is asking, okay, so once the pork is actually removed from the brine, how long is it good for before you soak it? I assume its longevity out of the brine is also part of why it was used for rations. Well, I think we're kind of mixing a couple different ideas up here. There are two different ways to cure salt pork. There's a liquid brine method, which is what we showed in the video. There's also a dry curing, which would be like a dried salt beef or even a ham, even a ham or say bacon. Those are not kept in a liquid state, but you actually pack the pieces of meat in just dry salt, and it removes the moisture. The salt goes in there, and those can last a long time in a dry state. But the brined salt pork, that salt pork needs to stay in the brine until it's ready to be used. So I want to thank everyone for your great questions. They really help us know what people want for in their episodes, and your kind comments. You know, sometimes it could be hard to do a new video every day or every week, and those comments really help. Keep them coming. Thank you so much for watching. If you're a new viewer and you haven't subscribed, press the subscribe button up here. That'll take you to a spot where you can subscribe. That really is the best way to get notification of all the new videos that are out. I want to thank everyone for watching.